Hi, welcome to Local Flavor. I'm Deborah Anderson, and you might recognize with me today is Korene Triplett. We're in Hill City, and she has something special to make for us. What is it?
We're going to make bierocks today.
More baking. You're the best at
More
baking.
Yeah.
That's great. Bieroks, those are the German little pocket sandwiches.
Yep, they are. They're with hamburger and onions, cabbage. Yep.
All right. Well, everyone always wants to have these, so let's show them how to do it.
All right. First of all, we're going to brown the hamburger, and I just went to the local store and just bought their hamburger that they had on sale. It's an 80/20, and so I'm going to put it in here. We're going to start browning it up.
How much is that? How many pounds?
This is a little over 2 pounds.
Okay. Do you want me to cut this while you're doing that?
Yeah, you start on the onion.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead and start chopping the onion, and we'll get this to going.
We're going to put in the whole onion, right?
Yep, 1 medium onion, and
now, does it matter if it's purple or white or yellow?
this is a yellow onion. I also cook with white onions as well, but I had these, so I'm using these up. But I also like to use Vidalia onions, sweet onion.
That's when they have this big sale in Moreland. That's when you get those, right?
I have a bag coming. Yep, that's right. So anyway, we're going to chop that up. We're going to use that little food processor that you have sitting there beside you. And but these onions, you just chop them up. Use the whole onion. Finely chopped. It is good enough. So I would cut that in half.
Okay.
Yet.
I've never used this product, and nobody has real parties anymore. So
we're going to do a half of one at a time on the onion. So just push it down hard.
Oh, we don't want to break it.
I don't think you'll break it. Just give it a good old pop. There you go. Keep on popping it. Keep you from crying. There you go. Little harder. You still got to do some more. Let me cut the center out of there.
That'll make it better.
Yeah, a little smaller. Okay, let's see what you have there. We'll pull that out. Yeah, good.
Are you going to cook it with the hamburger or wait till it's brown?
We're going to cook it with the hamburger. Well, let's go ahead and start the other part. There you go. I'll put this to the trash. Throw those in there and oops, do the same thing. So let me bring my trash can over here behind us, actually. Keep on popping it. That just takes, it doesn't take as long. Yeah, keep on going.
No, I mean the eyes.
Oh, well, it's better than sitting there chopping them by yourself. So, there you go. That might be good enough. And we'll let this, that's it.
How frugal are you? You're going to shake that off too?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to put that in there. I have to. There you go. All right. So there we have 1 medium onion chopped that goes into the batch, and then I take my handy dandy little hamburger stirrer thing and stir that hamburger up.
I like to use it on the frozen stuff and just
Yep.
none of the stuff falls off the back of the stove. Okay.
Then I'm going to add salt, probably a couple teaspoons of salt, but basically to taste. And then maybe half a teaspoon of black pepper, maybe a little more.
But I'd like to know how much, you did put a bit of salt in that, and I think a lot of people undersalt, so I'm glad you measured it out for us.
Well, you know, I don't cook with as much salt as I used to, but anyway.
I'm really wanting to smash on this one.
Oops, I just have to go ahead.
But I'll wait for your instructions.
Now, what we're going to do with this, I'll go ahead and we're going to cut this in half. And if you have a KitchenAid food processor, they do, you know, you can slice it really thin with that.
Oh, I do.
But, yep, I have one, but I thought, well, we can just go ahead and dice these up.
It's easier to get a look at how big they should be, I guess.
I cut it in wedges, probably about 1/8. Cut off the big chunky part. And
it's so hard.
There you go. I'm going to get over here on another block, or I'll bring mine over here next to you.
Okay.
And we're going to chop this up together.
So we need.
So what I do is I just start slivering it off. Just as thin as you can get it to go. Maybe go in there and give it another little extra chop.
Does anyone eat raw cabbage? I never have. Do you?
Only in coleslaw.
Oh, that's right.
I do eat it in coleslaw. But
I guess
I like cooked cabbage. We like just to steam cabbage and eat it like that. And of course, cabbage rolls, that would be, I call them galushkis. I'm not sure what.
Are you German?
No.
Okay.
Well, maybe. Well, not sure.
Now I changed direction. Does it matter?
No, just
Okay.
as long as they're fairly small pieces and, you know, but they'll cook down. This will cook down quite a bit, actually.
Are we going to put the whole head in?
Yep.
Wow.
We're going to put the whole head in. And that head, when I bought it, I weighed it. It's a little over 2 pounds. A little over 2 pounds of hamburger. And I think this is going to give us probably, I'm going to estimate between 20 to 25 Bierocks, probably. Depending upon how much meat you put in. I usually use about 1/3 of a cup to put in my Bierocks. But depends upon how much dough, how big around, or how much dough you want to use to get them done. So
If it's a big chunk,
I get rid of it. I cut out the big chunks that just, I mean, they cook down, but.
Oh, you're getting ahead of me. I got to get moving.
Don't cut your finger off.
Oh.
I do have some Band-Aids, but they might be children's Band-Aids, so.
I got a finger guard once, but I can't figure out how you're supposed to use it. It's too
Uh-oh.
complicated.
I don't even know if I've ever heard of that finger guard. But
Oh.
anyway, if you had a food processor, you could do this a lot quicker. But like I say, just finely chopped slivers here.
I wish it
them
were
as smaller.
greener.
The cabbage?
Yeah.
Well, when it cooks up, you can't really tell whether what's green and what was the white part,
Okay.
because it all is about the same. So I'm going to let you go ahead and do with that, and I'm going to put this over here right quick. And then I'm going to grab out and stir this. This hamburger is almost brown. I like to brown my hamburger first.
Before you put in the onion, or before you put in the cabbage?
Before I put in the cabbage, yes. And then I drain it, which we'll do here in a second.
Oh.
Drain it, and then,
This is for you to drain, I think.
yep. And then shove all that in there. Yep, that'll work. Let me just, so it doesn't go down my sink, I'll grab a pan here.
Oh, yeah, you don't want that down your sink.
Yeah.
At least that's what I was told when I was a kid, that it would clog up the toilet. I don't know if it's really true.
Clog up the toilet?
Uh-huh. So you're going to dip this, and then we're going to put the cabbage in. And how long will it need to cook with the cabbage in it?
You know, depending upon how high and how much you watch it, you can turn it on really low, and it might take an hour to cook down. Maybe I wouldn't cook it any higher than medium, and it's going to take probably 45 minutes to cook down. But
So we should put it in there and maybe take a little break and come back and finish later, huh?
yep, let me put
Okay.
that. I just put this back in here, and I'll let you dump that cabbage right on top of that hamburger.
Oh, you trust me more than you should.
Yeah, okay. There you go. And then I cover it. Oh, sorry. And that's it. We're going to let it cook for a little bit.
On high-low?
Oh, Good thing. Probably medium.
Okay. All right, let's let it go for a while and we'll come back when we're ready to start making the dough.
Dignity, respect, professionalism, commitment, and fairness are the 5 core values you can expect from All Faiths Funeral Chapel in Smith Center. At All Faiths Funeral Chapel, they consider it an honor to serve you and your family and their community. Built in 2010, their large state-of-the-art facility includes dining and reception hall to accommodate large funeral dinners, even anniversaries and weddings. They also sell customized monuments and offer pre-arranged services. All Faiths Funeral Chapel in Smith Center.
Angels Care Home Health, serving Russell and all the surrounding areas, is a Medicare certified home health agency providing quality skilled nursing services to patients in their homes or wherever they reside.
She takes my blood pressure and listens to me breathe and asks me how I'm doing.
Whatever the need, Angels Care is there to help 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Contact Angels Care today for more information on our home health services and how we can help you stay healthy. Angels Care Home Health, we serve patients.
Well, our cabbage is still cooking down, so we're going to go ahead and start the dough so it has time to rise also. Why don't you tell us what we need to do for that?
So what we have in this bowl right here is 4 cups of flour.
Okay.
And there's 2 teaspoons of salt, 4 tablespoons of sugar, and then I'm going to add, and this is quick rise.
Okay.
Quick rise yeast. It's not your normal yeast that you put in warm water and sprinkle with sugar and raise. You just put it right in your dry mixture, just like that.
Well,
oh,
because it's quick rise you don't, or because just for this recipe?
Just, well, because it's quick rise, you don't have to get your yeast to start, start your yeast. It's going to, if you use warm liquid, and this is pretty warm, so if you feel that, it's pretty hot.
Yes, it is.
That would kill a normal yeast.
But this is special.
Yeah. So and then what I have in the bowl here is 2 tablespoons of butter, 2 eggs, and 4 tablespoons of oil. So we're going to start this up. Guess we better plug it in.
The things you need to know to cook.
Okay, we're going to get this going, and then
Is that just milk, or is it?
Oh, sorry. This is a cup of milk and a cup of water that I heated in the microwave till it's scalding. It's kind of a scalding temperature. You can hold your hand on it, but it's warm. And I'm just going to temper these eggs a little bit with that by pouring it in slowly.
I have a question. Is scalding a temperature? Okay.
Just before, I would say it's just before boiling.
Okay.
I don't know. You don't bring it to boil.
Well, like lukewarm has a temperature so that you can put it in the water if you're trying to grow your yeast, the other kind of yeast.
Right.
So,
right.
Which I can't gauge temperature with my fingers, so that's why I was asking.
Yeah. And this yeast is pretty forgiving, and I do like to use it. So there's that. Now, if you just want to touch the side of that bowl, it's warm, but it's not hot. It's been cooled down a little bit with the eggs.
And it's steaming up the...
It is, a little bit. So at this point, I'm going to turn this off, and we're going to add all of this mixture at once. Right into the flour. If I can not spill it
I would
too
be
much.
afraid to do it. I would think there's going to be a big cloud of powder coming up in a minute.
There may be.
Okay.
We don't know that yet. So, yeah. There you go. See?
Not bad.
Get this out of the
You
way.
just put it on the lowest speed,
I got it
right?
on the low right now, and we're going to let this, this needs to mix for a while, and that helps get that yeast activated, and then it makes the gluten.
I
and the
still
bread.
eat gluten. Okay.
And it turns, and what it does at this stage is it gets the dough kind of in a sticky, elastic stage, and then you just kind of whip it there for a while. We're going to speed this up just a little bit, and it's not going to hurt anything but so we're going to let that beat, and then we're going to start adding more flour.
Oh, that's right. I remember when you did that last time.
Yeah.
Do you need to scrape the sides also, or no?
No, because it'll do itself.
Okay.
I think last time, you liked to scrape the sides, but so what we're going to do.
I'm a scraper.
Yeah, you had that spatula in there going pretty good. Okay, what we, the recipe calls for 2 more cups of flour.
Okay.
You can measure that out, but what I end up doing most of the time is just guessing. I put in flour until it starts crawling up the beater.
Okay.
And you just sprinkle in a little at a time.
Now, when it starts going up the beater, are we going to have to change the head?
Yes, we're going
Okay.
to change the beater to a kneading. It's called a knead hook.
Okay.
A dough hook, I guess. It would be more accurate, but it will just. Now, this is your mixer.
It is.
Because I got a different mixer, and mine I can mix dough up a little bit different, where I don't have to, I can measure out all my flour at one time and then just dump it all in there.
I was reading
And-
about your mixer. It seems like you do a lot of baking, so it's a better one for baking. And
It
these
does
are better
larger
for
batch.
like general kitchen
Right.
tasks.
It does a larger batch, and the only reason I ended up getting that was because my sister had one. So what
Well,
we're
you
going
can't
to
let her
do,
beat you.
yeah,
No.
no, not at all. Okay, it was started to kind of crawl up the hook here a little bit. So we're going to take this down. You kind of see how it's getting kind of elastic.
Uh-huh.
And then we're going to add the dough hook in.
And how long will we let this dough hook work?
It's going to work for probably another 7 or 8 minutes, and I'll continue to add flour in here until it gets to the consistency I want, which is a sticky, you can touch it, but it's still slightly sticky dough.
Okay.
Okay?
Should we let it go and
Yep.
take a little break?
Yep, we will.
We'll be right back as soon as the dough is ready.
The Hayes Public Library isn't just for books anymore. Break through your book barriers and see what all the HPL has to offer. Enjoy our free programs like computer classes, music concerts, cooking sessions, and more. Browse our collection of DVDs, CDs, and other media for free checkouts. Access your favorite titles online with the Sunflower e-Library and take your media on the go with the Hoopla app. Visit www.hayespublib.org and discover what the Hayes Public Library has to offer.
New technology comes out every week, and it can be hard to keep up with new features and buttons each new phone, computer, and tablet have. You could soon be the tech-savvy person in your family if you watch Nex-Tech University. Available on Nex-Tech Channel 1 and Nex-Tech VOD, Nex-Tech University will give you the tips and tricks to master your latest device and make you the person friends will run to with questions. Watch Nex-Tech University on Nex-Tech Channel 1 and video on demand.
Are you stuck in a contract with a wireless company that doesn't care about you? Maybe you've been wanting to switch, but everyone in your family has different contract dates. Now, you can easily say goodbye to your current wireless company. Nex-Tech Wireless will pay your contract termination fees up to $350 per line when you activate a new smartphone with the Freedom Program. There are no service contracts and no worries. Nex-Tech Wireless. Say hello to something different.
Hi.
We're looking for insurance.
Let's see who's free.
When insurance agents work for only one company, their options are simply limited. But a trusted choice independent agent is free to shop many companies for a better deal. Free to do what's right for you.
Let us shop for you. Contact Rogers & Associates to learn more.
Welcome back to Local Flavor. We've got both our hamburger mix and our dough all prepped and ready to wrap them up. So what happened while we were gone with the dough?
Okay, we finished it up, and we got it to where it was a kind of a sticky, when you touched it, consistency. And we've set it aside, and it's been raising for about 45
and you
minutes.
used the dough hook for 7 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
This has been raising for 45.
Yep.
On this I know because I did it. I stirred it before it was done, and then we cooked it a little longer, 30, 45 minutes. And now we had to put it in this to cool it to room temperature so that we can work with it.
Yep. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our dough. We're just going to dump it out on some flour here. And this dough will probably, this will probably make between, I don't know, 24, 25 Bierox, but I'm just going to knead a little bit of flour into it just so it's not quite so sticky with the to touch. But
you probably get a feel for when the kneading is right, right?
I usually don't try, but
okay.
I do this with my hands, and I keep kind of some flour on there just to kind of get it, and then I just start pinching off these dough balls. That's about the size I like to have.
So you didn't really have to knead it too much.
No. Now, some people will take their dough and they will, okay, I want to put some flour on your hands. They will put, can't have too much flour. They will put and roll the dough out like in a square or a big rectangle or whatever, and then cut the dough. But
like crescents?
Yeah, I do mine individually. And the reason I do that is because I roll my dough out a little bit different. A Bierock sometimes will have the center will be filled with dough.
Right.
And what I
with filling.
Well, yes, but once you bake it, then that dough, when you pinch it up, as I want to show you, it will be kind of, it fills up the center too much. And what I do is I roll my dough out, and then I...
Mine doesn't look right.
It's fine.
Okay.
It's not going to look like that when we get done anyway.
Okay.
So we're just going to start with this bunch right here. So what I'm going to do is I'll show you what I'm talking about. Is I take it and I pat it out like this, and then I take my rolling pin and I roll it. Let me just move this out of the way. I roll it like this and roll it like that. Oops. And then, I got a little bit too much flour. I start with the center and I pull out and I roll my edges smaller like this, which leaves the center
But
underneath.
you said the problem was a big wad of dough in the middle.
Yep.
And so you're making a big wad of dough. It looks like a fried egg.
It does look like a fried egg, doesn't it? Okay, so I got it a lot thinner on the edges, but in the middle you can kind of see it's humped up. And I usually use about 1/3 of a cup of filling.
Is that a 1/3 cup measuring spoon?
That is. It's 1/3 of a cup right there. And then I take my pinched in, this is what I'm talking about. When you pull and pinch up the dough underneath, when this will start baking and it'll fill up the center of the Bierock with a lot of dough if you don't thin that out. So I thin it out.
Okay.
It makes less dough.
So the problem with the dough is on the pinched up part.
Right. And I try to reduce that as much as I can.
And that makes it more uniform.
Yep. Yep. So you want to try one?
I will, but I mean, don't get your hopes up.
Okay.
Okay.
So just roll it out like you would a pie crust, Deb.
There's no Bisquick in this.
No, there's not. And then just kind of start in the edges and just push it down so it might need a little flour in there. I don't know. And then, yep. Just work it out and just kind of leave that middle just a little bit more pooched up.
See, I would have done it the exact opposite. I would have made it look like a big thing of mashed potatoes with a well for the gravy, for the filling.
Well, we're going to do it this way.
So it's a good thing you're showing us.
Yeah.
Now, these look just like those frozen rolls.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
So if you don't make
How did I
homemade
do?
bread, looks good to me.
Okay.
Just put that in there. Now start pulling up.
You're saying if we don't make homemade bread.
You can probably use that Rhodes bread dough.
Do these have to raise again, by the
Yes,
way?
they will have to raise. We're going to have to let them raise for another about 30 minutes.
Well, this could take a while. How about if we take a little break and finish these up and come back? Let's talk about when we're going to put them in the oven. What temperature?
We're going to bake them at 350 degrees, and they're probably going to bake for 20 to 30 minutes until they're really nice and golden brown.
Is it okay if they touch, or do you want them separated
I
on
don't
the
touch
pan?
them because I freeze them afterwards, and I don't know. I just like mine where they're. Sometimes they raise and they'll start touching, but I usually on that pan I'll probably put about 9.
Okay.
I just pat them up and let them go.
All right.
So.
Well, we can take a short break and finish these up and stick them in the oven.
Yep.
And then we'll come back and see how they turned out.
Nex-Tech Local 1 brings you What's Happening Now, a show dedicated to events going on in our area. If you have an event and would like to be a part of What's Happening Now, contact Jenny Liker at 785-625-7070.
Restaurants, gyms, salons, libraries, and more. Nex-Tech has over 100 free Wi-Fi hotspots to keep you connected.
Welcome back. It's cooking time, and we have some that are ready to go in the oven.
Yep.
Tell us how you know that they're ready.
Well, they're risen just a little bit. You can kind of feel the dough, and it's just a little soft to touch. And so, they've been sitting here probably for about 30 minutes.
Okay.
So these are ready to go in. So I'm going to pop these in the oven. We just took this other pan out, and so
They look pretty. I like the really round ones. I'm going to try to learn to make them rounder.
yeah. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some butter, and I'm just going to brush on some butter right here. I think we're going to taste test this one right here in the middle. So I'm going to get that off of there for you. And then here we go.
We should probably let them cool a teeny tiny bit.
Yeah, they just came out of the oven. So, but once you cut into them, if it doesn't explode on you, it won't.
And were you telling us that we could put other things inside of these?
Oh yeah. Yeah. You can turn that around. I think it turned. See how it's more even on the where we went and rolled our dough more out to the edges, so that it's a little thin. Watch it pinch up underneath.
Yeah, it
so you
looks
don't have
nice.
that great big clump of dough in there in the middle.
Now I noticed when we were making them, when we went off camera and made just a few more, that there was extra of the
dough. If you have leftover dough, then just make them into hamburger buns. Just shape it into the size, and it'll.
And it tastes just like a regular bread.
Yeah, it'll be more.
We'll
like bread.
find out.
and then if you have extra filling, save it for soups or some kind of a casserole dish that might have hamburger in it, because little cabbage isn't going to hurt anybody in a casserole. So you can, you never know specifically how much you're going to have, if you're going to have enough dough or you're going to have enough. But this made about 22. I think we ended up with about 22 Bierocks.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, compared to any other Bierock I've tasted, which are mostly frozen ones, I haven't made them fresh, the key on this is the bread.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I know she told us we could cheat with frozen, but I'd definitely go with homemade dough. It makes it so good.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Korene.
Well, you're welcome. So,
and
it's fun.
Hope you'll come back again
and
be with us on Local Flavor.